Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Target exclusive gold label Flashpoint Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman from the Flashpoint series. She's armored and is a badass. This is going to be the final figure to build Cyborg. I pre-ordered this thing at the Target website and it finally arrived today. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moon parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, gold label collection. A gold label figure is simply a retailer exclusive, whether it be Walmart or GameStop. This particular gold label is a Target exclusive. DC Multiverse Wonder Woman, collect to build Cyborg. This is the fourth figure you need. Here she is in the package. She's got a sword, collector's card, display stand, and of course, Cyborg's head. One side of the package, Wonder Woman from Flashpoint. Other side, Wonder Woman. At the bottom, bunch of credits. There's her barcode. And at the back, here's Cyborg. Here's the part you get with this figure. Here's instructions how to build him. And here's the rest of the wave. So with no further ado, let's open her up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. She has a display stand, a collector's card, a sword, and then Cyborg's head. She's part of the Collect to Build Cyborg wave from the Flashpoint story. But before we take a look at all those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Wonder Woman from Flashpoint. In the Flashpoint story, it's in sort of an alternate what-if Earth. In this world, her and Aquaman were sort of together, but they had a falling out, and then it caused a war between the Atlanteans and the Amazons. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of other stuff going on between Flash, Reverse Flash, Thomas Wayne Batman, Project Superman, etc. So let's take a look at her. So I prefer the more traditional versions of the characters, not necessarily classic, but iconic, and this is a very unique version. It doesn't make her bad, but not my personal preference. That being said, I think they did a pretty nice job with her. The helmet looks pretty good, the sculpt, the eyes, the lips, little spikes on top of the helmet. She has very nice texturing on the black part of her suit underneath all the armor pieces. Looks very, very nice. She's got a belt here, and it is missing the sheath for a sword. It's a little bit disappointing. It's got the sort of Wonder Woman bird type logo on her stomach. Looks like double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Cape, pretty bland. She's got the hair kind of sticking down below her helmet. As a whole, it's a good looking figure. It's very unique, very stylized for the Flashpoint story, but they did an excellent job with it. And just a closer look at her face, helmet, and head sculpt, I think it's pretty nice. Now for her accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's her display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black circle, flat, basic. Now for her collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of the armored Wonder Woman from Flashpoint. On the back, there's a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now let's check out Cyborg's head. This is the final piece to finish Cyborg from Flashpoint. It's one of those Target exclusive build-a-figure waves that takes about the whole year to make. So let's take a look. Now it's got that signature Cyborg look. Red dot in the middle, the sort of metal plate on the top left, the sort of metal trim around his chin area. One eye's lit up. The sculpting on his hair looks good. The face looks good. Half robot, half man. Can't survive without either parts. And if you buy all four figures in the wave, Aquaman, Project Superman, The Flash, and Wonder Woman, you can build Cyborg. Now, Cyborg here looks great, but damn, this guy is big. He stands about 9.2 inches tall. That's a problem I have with him. It is accurate to the Flashpoint comics, but just way too big to mix in with the rest of the Justice League. I'm also not a fan of having the permanent cannon on his right arm. I wish it was a swappable regular hand as well. Still, really happy to finally have a comic Cyborg to add to the mix. And if you were curious what I meant by he's far too tall, just look at this. Now let's check out our sword. The handle has a pretty good amount of sculpting detail. Then the blade has all kind of sort of scratches, nicks, and dings on it. She's used this thing in battle a lot. The sword itself is very bendable. You are not going to break that thing. Here's Wonder Woman holding that sword. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and her accessories, now let's check out her height. From bottom to the very top of her head, standing right at 7 inches tall, which can translate to just under 18 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the spikes on her helmet, about 7.25 inches tall. Now for articulation. Starting with her head, we can rotate it from side to side. Yeah, you can get the hair over the shoulder, but it's very restricting. Can't even really tilt her head from side to side because of the hair. And she can't look up, but she can look down just the tiniest bit. The hair really messes that up. Shoulders on a ball joint. Goes out a good 90 degrees. Up, down, around. No butterfly joint. She's got a bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. They go all the way in. Her wrist can rotate. And it feels like it's hinged, but you're not going to get much out of that. Torso seems to be one solid piece, which is unusual for a McFarlane figure. Ball joint her waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, they go out about this far. McFarlane style hip joints. Man, the texture on the legs looks fantastic. Rotation is non-existent. Legs go forward about that much, back not much. Looks like single jointed knees. I was wrong earlier. They do have a little bit of rotation there. Then her ankle here. Of course, it can rotate. It can go forward and back a little bit. It can sort of tilt and rock, but you're not going to get much out of that. And then she has toe articulation as well. Here's a look at the Atlanteans on the left, taking on the Amazons on the right. And then we have the heroes of man defending in the middle. Here's a look at Wonder Woman, finally getting her revenge on Arthur. Now let's check her out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse Wonder Woman figures. Here she is, next to the Shazam 2, Gal Gadot, DC Cinematic Universe Wonder Woman. And here she is, next to the Batman, The Last Line on Earth Wonder Woman. Then, next to the Death Metal Wonder Woman. And now, next to the Todd McFarlane designed Wonder Woman. And here, next to the Justice League Endless Winter Wonder Woman. Here are absolutely all of the McFarlane DC Multiverse Wonder Woman figures. We have 12 of them, and still no iconic Wonder Woman, whether it be classic or modern. There is a really nice one coming up soon. Cannot wait for that. Here she is, next to a Noble Toys Bendy figure Wonder Woman. Then, next to my DC Direct and DC Collectibles Wonder Woman figures. And I wanted to take a second to check out the Flashpoint McFarlane figure versus the DC Direct Flashpoint Wonder Woman, based off the same armor design. So, the biggest difference is going to be the McFarlane one is way more articulated. One thing I do like better about the DC Direct one is she comes with that sheath for a sword attached to her belt. McFarlane could have really benefited from that. The texturing is very nice on both them, like the leg area. But I'd say McFarlane's going to win on that. Paint job, definitely a little better on the DC Direct one. I mean, look at the arms there. A little more detail, paint-wise. But I do like the texturing on this figure. Overall, I'm definitely going to give it to McFarlane because she can move way better than this one. This figure, leg goes up, leg goes down, doesn't come out at all. Single jointed knees, only go back about yay far. Although, then again, she has single jointed knees too, but they go back a little further. As a whole, I think this one looks better and functions better. And now, next to all of my Mattel Wonder Woman figures, here's my entire collection of 6 and 7 inch Wonder Woman figures. I have a lot, but there's even way more that I don't have. Here she is, next to a McFarlane Donna Troy. Then, next to Mattel, Cassie Wonder Girl. Here's Wonder Woman, next to the entire Flashpoint wave, Collectibuild Cyborg. And they made one other Flashpoint figure. This is the Thomas Wayne Batman, one of the early McFarlane figures. Fantastic release. Surprised they didn't give him a re-release in this wave, but happy to add these other characters to the mix. And here she is, next to the DC Direct Flashpoint wave. I have all of them except for Cyborg. Now let's check her out next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here she is, next to some recent Amazon exclusive gold label figures. These are the glow in the dark versions. The Infected Batman, Titan Joker, Swamp Thing, and John Stewart Green Lantern. And here she is, next to some recent Entertainment Earth exclusive figures. We have some sketch versions on the left, and some blacklight versions on the right. Then, next to the McFarlane Collector's Edition Wave 2, both the regular versions and the Platinum Chase, we have Firestorm, Hawkman, and Sinestro. And now, next to the Injustice 2, Superman and Brainiac. There is a Platinum Chase Brainiac out there. If anybody has a lead or knows where I can get one, please drop me a line in the comments below. Here's Wonder Woman, next to the Batman, The Last Line on Earth, Batman vs. Omega 2-pack. And here she is, next to the Dark Knights of Steel Batman, and both versions of the Jim Gordon Batman. She actually looks really cool next to the Darkness of Steel Batman. Then, next to the Batman Beyond versus Justice Lord Superman 2-pack. And now, next to both versions of the Santa Batman. Here she is, next to the big bad Toy Store exclusive, black and white accent, Joker and Martian Manhunter. Then, next to some recent McFarlane Toy Store exclusive figures, we have the Patina variant at Superboy Prime and Merciless, then the Interrogation Room Joker and Catman, and finally, next to the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom movie wave. Now let's check her out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how she fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix her with. Since she's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check her out with some of her McFarlane Toys brothers and sisters. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, next to some Jack Specific and some DST or Diamond Select toys, here's Wonder Woman next to a slice of bread. Then, with some DC Direct and some NECA figures. And now, with some Mattel and some Jazzwares wrestling figures, here's Wonder Woman next to some Mezco and some Mattel DC figures. Then, next to some Mafex and some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, next to some SH Figure Arts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, it's a very nice Wonder Woman figure. And from someone like me who prefers a more traditional Wonder Woman, that's high praise. The texturing is phenomenal in her suit. I really like the way she looks. They did a great job. Her articulation is quite limited though. Her accessory, the sword, it's good, but I really wish it had a sheath to hold it. A little bit more articulation and a sheath. I might give her an 8 out of 10, as is. Gonna give her a 7, although I might be undershooting it just a tiny bit. I don't know, the single jointed knees and the sheath thing do bother me, maybe more than they should. Still, it's a good looking figure. She does have some limits in her neck articulation as well. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.